Hi, guys. Welcome back to another episode of the Self Confidence Project. We're going to be diving straight in today to talk about 5 things that turn women on that you probably haven't thought about before. Probably elements that haven't really been shared anywhere else. Because when we think about how to turn a woman on, how to turn our partners on, I don't know about you guys, but my mind usually goes to what kind of romantic gesture or like sexual act do I need to do to get my partner in the mood? And everything that I'm going to be talking about today does not take place in the bedroom because the secret to really turning a woman on is starting long before you have entered the bedroom. So I'm going to be diving into those 5 things today. So definitely stick all the way to the end. If you're new to this, YouTube channel, this podcast, obviously I want to welcome you guys here. My name is Kimberly Hill. I'm a men's dating and relationship coach, and I've been doing this for a long time now. And really, my mission and my overall purpose is to support men that are dating and wanting to attract the right types of women into their lives. They do not want to repeat the same patterns that they have held in love and in dating and in relationships. They want to dive deeper into themselves, gain self awareness, and just become better human beings on this planet while dating and having more fun, attracting the right types of partner, moving away from spending time with the wrong types of women, and genuinely going on to having deep, loving, intimate, passionate relationships. So if this sounds like you and what you're looking for in your life, then you're definitely in the right place. Now, of course, I've got some other products and links that you guys can check out. So if you ever want to have a call with me and understand what coaching is like, there's a link in the description of the video and in the podcast where you guys can book a complimentary consult to understand if coaching is right for you. And if you're also interested, maybe you guys have been listening to me for a while on this show or on this podcast. You like my voice. I've been told that I have a nice, soothing voice. I don't know if I agree with that. But if you like that, you're going to love the audio masterclass that I put together a short while ago, which talks about the 10 must know tips for talking and texting with women. So if you struggle when it comes to communication with women, understanding women, how to approach them in person, and also just how to text them when it comes to your interactions on a phone or interactions on a dating app, you're going to love that masterclass. Go check it out. I don't know how long I'm going to have it live and active for. And the link to that is, of course, in the show notes and in the description below. Okay, 5 things that turn her on. Probably things you haven't thought of before. The first one, arguably one of the most important turn-ons for women, is when a man stays grounded despite her emotional state. When a man stays grounded despite a woman's emotional state. Let me explain. Women are emotional beings. We all are. But women, let's say, we have a little more of that, stereotypically, right? Feminine creatures. We're emotional beings. And our decisions are very often influenced by how we are feeling in that exact moment. In one moment, we're on top of the world and we're saying yes to everything. And in the next moment, we're not at the top of the world. We're really stressed out. We're sad and we're making a totally different decision or saying we don't want to do whatever we previously committed to. Probably know a woman that's done that, right? And that's because we ebb and flow with our emotions. And these emotions usually are what drive many of our conflicts. When we're angry, we're hurt, we're sad, it spills out into this frenzy of neuroticism and sometimes drama. Because I'm being honest here, not everyone has perfect emotional composure all the time. And I don't think anyone on the planet is ever going to have perfect emotional composure. So sometimes we have this dramatic flare of emotions. And you know what? It drives you men crazy. I get it. Drives you guys crazy. You can't understand how we can be so hot and cold in the moment. And maybe in those instances, you guys take the bait, or you get short with your partner, or you roll your eyes because you just can't understand what the heck she's thinking, feeling, or processing, or how she's processing. Or maybe you jump right in and you start listing reasons why she doesn't need to feel that way because you care and love for her. And if you could just explain something to her, then she wouldn't feel those emotions. Very highly invalidating, by the way, so don't recommend doing that. None of that turns a woman on. What does turn a woman on is when, in the midst of her dramatic expression of emotions, you remain grounded and calm. So, the best way that I can think to highlight this is if any of you have watched the Prime series Yellowstone, Kevin Costner. Now, there's a main actor in the show, and his character name is Rip Wheeler. Okay, so women swoon over Rip Wheeler. And it's not because he's arguably the most attractive man in Hollywood. He's not. Although I would have to add right now that I find his character to be insanely attractive. Why? It's because whenever his fiery, dramatic, emotional partner, Beth Dutton, acts out, he remains calm, he remains grounded, and he sometimes even adds a little humor to the situation. Rip does not pretend to understand everything that Beth is thinking or feeling. He does not ever consider inserting himself into her dramatic flare of emotions, but rather he simply chooses to love her in that moment. That is such a major turn on. Why? You're probably listening to this going like, well, that's a lot of work that we need to do where women get to just do whatever they want. Well, let me just clarify something. This in no way, shape, or form excuses poor behavior from women. This does not mean that if she's critical or nasty or, emotionally abusive, that you just stay calm and no, that's not what I'm talking about here. Emotional abuse is a totally different category. But a woman who's expressing and emoting herself in this dramatic fashion, it's when that is taking place and when you choose to stay grounded and calm and love her through that anyways. That is what is a major turn on because it makes women feel safe in your presence to express themselves. And safety, okay, safety is what is a fundamental basic requirement for a woman to get turned on and later that evening want to roll around in the sheets with you. But if you think of an example of any day you've had with any woman, if it started with an emotional expression on her side and you didn't stay calm and grounded and you guys had a conflict, it's just highly unlikely she's going to feel like she wants to open up to you in a vulnerable way later that night because it has to do with her comfort and safety around you, right? So this is why staying grounded despite her emotional state is one of the biggest turn-ons for women. And again, turn-ons for women start long before you've entered the bedroom. Okay. Now, why can't women just be more in check with their emotions and communicate more clearly and make things easier for guys? Honestly, I don't know, right? It's the psyche of women. I'm just sharing information with what the reality is today. Of course, I have opinions on how we can better communicate and be more direct and be more emotionally stoic in so many ways. But the reality is, us humans are emotional, us women are emotional. And so it's very likely you're going to face this type of situation at some point with women. And I want you to know that if you just choose in that moment to love her anyways and not try and fix her or solve her, you will score massive brownie points, guys. You will turn her on. Okay. Second element that massively turns women on is, and this has nothing to even do with her, which is crazy, right? Is when you men are doing hard things or you're in a state of flow. Okay, so this could be, let's use the example of like, let's say you enjoy cooking and you're in the kitchen and you're cooking up a meal and you're just moving around and you have this great energy and you're essentially protruding this energy out into the world that you are unstifled, you're free from the outcome of whatever is happening, you're completely just enjoying yourself in the present moment. And what this is demonstrating to the woman that is spending time with you or that you're cooking for, that's in the house or in the other room or just in your energetic presence, is that you are focused on the experience and not on yourself. It's attractive. So this could be you working out in the gym without peeking at yourself in the mirror, right? Because that's a little bit of the focus on the self, right? Or it can appear to be the focus on the self. Maybe you're just doing it for from a postural perspective, making sure you're lifting weights the right way. Okay. But what I mean is when you're in a state of flow, when you're sweating, you're working hard, you're focused on something, you're under your car fixing something, you're in the kitchen cooking something, you're doing a routine of stretching, you're painting, you're building something, you're using your hands, you're just in the moment, in the experience, and not focus on yourself. This is what many people call a state of flow. You've probably experienced it in some hobby or outlet that you have in your life. And when a woman catches you in this state of flow or gets a glimpse of you in a state of flow, it is really attractive. This is why you see so many scenes in movies where a woman sees a man. Okay, and the man does not know the woman is there, right? She's looking at the guy on the farm and he's lifting something or moving a piece of equipment, or he's grunting because he's lifting up a piece of farming equipment that's heavy, and he does not know that she's watching him, but she's just looking at this guy as he's focused on the experience. He's grunting, he's sweating, and she's just licking her lips because she's like, hey, she just likes this visual that she's getting of this dude. Guys, when you are in your own state of flow, when you're enjoying something in your life, this is ultimately super, super attractive, which is also why it is highly recommended that in your online dating profiles, that the types of images you have are the ones that represent your state of flow. So this is why all dating coaches are going to tell you that you need, of course, a portrait picture to demonstrate your face and show who you are in your profile and build trust. But the other pictures are lifestyle pictures, you living your life essentially in this state of flow, focus on the experience and not yourself. This is highly, highly attractive. Grunting, sweating, working out, focused, demonstrating passion for something. This is super, super attractive. Women love it when men can do things that they are not capable of doing as well. We develop this fondness and admiration for the strengths and the capabilities of our partner. It's very, very sexy and very attractive. Don't know what it is that you do, guys, that you're passionate about, that you love, that's a hobby where you get in a state of flow, but just own it when you're doing it. Because guarantee you, if a woman catches a glimpse of you, she's feeling things. She's feeling things. Okay. The third major turn on for women is when you stand up for yourself respectfully. Because nobody likes a pushover. And when a man can demonstrate that he is able to stand up for himself and do so assertively, not aggressively. Okay, I'm not talking about aggressive displays of emotion, but contained yet assertive and respectful. This demonstrates that you have communication skills that are respectful, that you can be clear and direct. And by the way, that is a more masculine, energetic trait. The reason why, and in my content lately, I talk about how women are such indirect communicators, and guys are rolling their eyes going, I wish women were just so much more clear and direct. I get that. I wish more women were too. It would make life a lot easier. But that is predominantly a masculine, energetic quality. Women were not raised to be as assertive and clear and direct because that is perceived as a masculine trait. So you guys are, a lot of you are frustrated with the fact that women aren't clear with their communication. And I get it. We really should be. It would make your lives a lot easier. But that's just not, how a lot of women have been raised. So it's something that they need to learn through communication with you in the safe container of your relationship. So why it's so attractive when men can be assertive and stand up for themselves is, of course, it's showing this maturity, it's showing this masculine energy, it's showing this confidence. And what it's doing is it's letting women know that she can trust you and lean on you to defend a situation, including yourself and probably her, without aggravating others, without putting her in further harm's way, without inciting conflict or war or a distressing situation. So when you can calmly, assertively, and clearly and respectfully stand up for yourself and your boundaries, a woman can go, he's got this. I don't have to step forward into my masculine energy and save the day. I can trust. A lot of this has to do with trust and safety, if you're picking up the subtle hints here, right? A lot of this has to do with, can a woman feel safe and comfortable in your presence? Because you can stay grounded, because you can absorb into an experience, and because you know how to stand up for yourself respectfully. Nobody likes a pushover, and it creates a bit of discord and maybe mistrust when you're in situations where, you aren't able to assert yourself in that respectful manner. So major turn on, major turn on, guys. Really different, however, again, from being aggressive, yelling, being critical, getting out of your car and starting road rage. All of that makes a woman feel unsafe, right? So it's really about standing up for yourself in that clear, direct, assertive, yet respectful way where it's not going to incite more conflict, more chaos, or put your woman in harm's way. Okay. Turn on number 4. I love this one. I love this one. I love this one very, very much. This is when men treat less fortunate people with dignity and kindness. And you're probably going, yeah, absolutely. And same thing. It's a turn on when women do this too. Why? This is because, again, this creates a lot of insight into who you are as an individual. It demonstrates your patience for other people. It shows how you value human beings and the world around you. When a man who we know can stand up for himself, who get in a state of flow, who can stay grounded despite our chaos, this warrior of a man can also show tenderness to other people. It demonstrates to the woman that you're the kind of person that can care for her when she is feeling down and out. The true test of your character is how you treat others who add no value to your life. The true test of your character is how you treat somebody who adds no value to your life. These are the things women are keeping track of in their mind. These are the things that create good feelings or bad feelings within the woman that you are with. This also really impacts her desire and willingness to be with you romantically. Because if you think about a common day in a woman's life, or an average day in a woman's life where she was emotional in the morning and you tried to solve all her problems, and then you guys go out for a lunch together and they put you in the worst table and worst corner of the restaurant, and you just accepted it. You didn't, ask respectfully for a better seat. And then you're rude to the waiter. Like, a woman's making this checklist in her mind of like, I'm not feeling connected to you. I'm not feeling safe in your presence. And no, I'm not going to feel turned on later when you want to roll around in the sheets with me. This is women's minds need to attune to their bodies for them to want to be intimate and be sexual with you. And we're wired differently than you guys, which is why men sometimes find it hard to understand how to turn a woman on. And again, it's like because it starts long before you enter the bedroom, right? And these things are not difficult to do. They're not difficult to do if you have self-awareness and you have communication skills and you're working on your own emotional regulation. Yes, women need to do all that too. Okay. No excuses for women to just sit around and do nothing while men do all the work. I totally call women out to be better human beings, to be more, direct and more clear, and to do all these things themselves. But again, this video is for you guys. So when you treat less fortunate people with dignity and kindness, of course, in the presence of the woman you're dating or you're around, again, it demonstrates your true character by how you behave and treat people who aren't adding any value to your life. And the number 5 major turn on for women, this one is a personal favorite of mine. This is very different from the other ones. You guys maybe are going to laugh at this one. And this is when men are doing the turn on number 3. Okay. Turn on number 2. When you are doing hard things and you're in the flow and you're in the experience, but you are also wearing a backwards hat. Super sexy. I don't know what it is about this. Go ahead and ask, women in your friend group that you know in your life, if they think it's sexy when a man wears his hat backwards. I literally do not know what it is. My partner wears a hat all the time. It's pretty much on his head 90%, except for when he's sleeping. He'd probably wear it to bed if he could. When he flips that around, I don't know. I like energetically just want to get closer to him. I don't know what it is, but if you ask any women that you know in your circle of influence in your social life, if they find men sexy with hat backwards, especially when they're doing hard things, I guarantee you they are going to say yes, or some of them are going to say yes. It showcases your face, it frames your face really nicely. There's just something really sexy about it. So a little cheeky, easy one for you guys to pick up here in today's podcast and in this video. Backwards hat while doing the other things. Molto bene, you're going to be at the top of the pile. So hopefully you've had some fun watching this video, listening to this podcast, learning about the things that ultimately genuinely turn women on. Because remember, our minds and bodies need to be aligned. We need to be feeling connected to you in these types of ways, especially emotionally, for us to want to be vulnerable in the bedroom intimately and passionately with you. So hopefully there's been some value and insight in today's show. I'd love to hear what you guys know that works for you to get a woman turned on. Share that wisdom with everybody else so we can all be learning from the things that have helped you in your dating life, have helped you in your relationships to incite more passion and more intimacy and more playfulness and more fun. Of course, if you guys want to access that masterclass of mine, you want to book a consultation, you know where to find the links. They're in the description of this content that's going out today. And again, thanks so much for tuning in and look forward to bringing you all another episode next week. Ciao.